When I have a need for religion, I go out at night and paint the stars. Do you know The Starry Night by Vincent Van Gogh? The Starry Night was painted by Vincent Van Gogh on June of the year 1889. It was one of the last paintings that Vincent Van Gogh created before of commit suicide in 1890. If you look closely and carefully, you will be able to realize everything that makes up that exquisite work of art, since the colors to the lights, but also since the brushes to the atmosphere that it gives us to understand. With the colors, we could see depth in the paint because we have a sense of profundity with the colors, with the scales of blue and white. With the colors, we could understand more about the painter because we could see depth in the paint. We have a play with light that give us the sense of we are watching the real sky above us, but also with the light we could see the profundity and the first plane that he's playing for us. To could understand the painter, we need to know and understand first the story of Vincent Van Gogh. We need to know what was happening in that moment of his life. That moment was not the best in his life because no one bought his art, so he began to fall into a deeper depression. So he decided to intern himself to the psychiatric of San Pablo in France, where after he will obtain the inspiration to paint the Starry Night. According to historians, the Starry Night was the view that he had from his room in the psychiatric hospital of San Pablo. But we can still see that he tells us a story with the painting, because it's not the view like he has, because he includes an olive tree in the first flat, which talk about his ancient religiosity, because he was Christian and he tried to be shepherd of a church but never managed it. Also, with the stars in circular movements, we could understand the disorder of his mind because he was epileptic. At the end, we can understand that he missed his native Holland because the town that he painted wasn't Saint-Remy, the town where was the psychiatric of San Pedro. It was the Dutch town where he grew up. He only draws with carbon in his room, and after, in the study that the psychiatrist gave him, he finished the paints. And with the root brushes, we could see who he remarked him draws. With the shapes that he paint, our eye could move since the left to the right, because it means that the life of Vincent Van Gogh was happening in that moment, because he was feeling the inspiration in the psychiatric, and he was feeling a new beginning in his life, because he felt that the life was starting to have a sense, because that the paint is to watch since the left to the right. his paint was painted with oil paints, because in that years the oil paint was more accessible and more useful for the painters. As everybody of us know, that painter is a pre-impressionism and also a mixer with modern art, because Vincent Van Gogh was one of the most representative painters in that periods of art. The size of that paint is 73.7 centimeters by 88.2 centimeters, and nowadays we could find it in the Museum of Modern Art of New York in the United States. Thank you very much for your attention.